In lesson number 4, I'm going to show you how to basically get into your shed. Right now there's no way that you can even get into your shed, so we need to add doors and windows. So for the door, first I'm going to go up to my architecture tab and I'm going to click on door. Whenever I look at this, there's only single flush doors loaded, nothing else. So to load more doors, I need to come over and click on the load family button. I'm just going to, and it opens up to that default area. I click on doors and I'm going to go through and find a door that works well for me. I'm looking for a double door. So there's a double panel door. That would be close to what I'd be looking at, what I would actually have in my shed. So I click OK and open, and I'm just going to drop this right here for now. Whenever I look at this door, I come up here and I see that it's 72 inches wide by 78 inches high. So I'm going to pull this down and see what else is in here. There's a 60 by 82, 68 by 80, and for a residential door, they're typically 80 inches high. So I'm going to start with this, and I'm still not the correct width, so I'm going to edit type, and I'm going to do a duplicate. And I'm going to call this shed door. And I'm going to come down through here and I'm going to change my width. The height I'm going to leave at 6'8", and my width I'm going to make it 4 feet. I say OK, and it automatically changed my door. I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. The next thing that we want to add to the shed is a window. So if I click on the window button, you'll notice that I only have one type of window in here, and that's fixed. We are going to use slider windows for the shed, so we have to load family. Go in here, double click window, and I'm going to look for a slider. There's slider with trim. I say open, and again I'm just going to plop this in place, and if I click on it, the first thing I want to look at is I want to check the head height. So the head height is basically the top of the window, where it would meet up with the header that goes over the window. I want the head height to be at 80 inches or 6'8" to match the door. I'm going to do that right now, and the top of the window would match up with the top of the door. The next thing I want to do is I want to change this window to the size that we're going to use for our shed. So we're going to edit type, and I'm going to see if they have one available that I want to use, which they don't. So I'm going to do a duplicate, and I'm going to call this 24 by 24 and say OK. And down here, my width is going to be 2 feet and my height is going to be 2 feet. And what this is going to end up doing, it's going to move my window down because of this default sill height only being 3 feet. It's going to make my head height 5 feet. So I could play with that, or I could just come out here, click on the window again, and change my head height back to 6'8". So there I have a door and window in place. Now ideally what I want to do is I want to have this door and the window centered within the walls. So I can mess around with that right here by sliding them over, making some changes. The easiest way to do this is with my permanent dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and click on level 1, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the dimensions that I have on there and just stretch them out a little bit. And I have a little bit of a problem with my window not showing up right there. And just for the time being, I'm going to change this around a little bit so that it shows up on my plan. Basically, it's not being cut through, and now it's actually being cut through with my cutting plane for the floor plan. I'm going to pull this dimension out, and I'm going to add some dimensions in. So whenever I dimension a door or a window in a framed wall, a stud framed wall, I dimension to the center of the door or the center of the window from the outside edge of the wall. We do this so that you can use different manufacturers, different types of windows. You can change the size, and the drawings don't have to change. I'm going to choose Align Dimension. Again, I'm going to make sure it's on face of core. I'm going to click that. It lines up with the other dimension I have. It automatically grabs the center of the door for me. And then I'm going to complete the string of dimensions like this. And then I'm going to drop them in place. Now here's the cool little thing that Revit does for me. There's a little equal sign up here. And if I click that right now, it basically makes it so that each dimension within that string is equal, therefore placing this door in the exact center of the wall. But I want to actually know what these dimensions are so that the person building the shed can actually build it. So I'm going to click this equal sign again, and now it puts the numbers back there. I'm going to do the same thing with this window. Click Aligned, pick the center of the window, outside edge of the wall, click Equal, click it again, and now I have some nice neat dimensions. I can pull these back in so they're not taking up so much space. Pull this one out just a little bit. And now I have the window and the door in the centers of the wall. And I can again take a look at that in 3D just so you can see what it looks like in 3D.